Welcome back to the City Period. Today, we've get the latest updates of your beloved club, Manchester City. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of City news. Let's get started. Manchester City are on the verge of completing one of the most surprising and high-profile transfers of the summer. According to multiple reports, City have reached an agreement in principle with Paris Saint-Germain to sign Gianluigi Donnarumma, the towering Italian goalkeeper, as a long-term replacement for Ederson. The move signals the beginning of a new chapter at the Etihad Stadium, as Pep Guardiola and City's hierarchy prepare for life after one of the most successful goalkeepers in the club's history. The end of an era. Ederson's departure. Ederson Moraes joined Manchester City in 2017 from Benfica for a then-record fee for a goalkeeper. In his 7 years at the club, Ederson has revolutionized the role of a modern goalkeeper with his exceptional distribution, quick reflexes, and bravery off his line. A key figure in Guardiola's system, Ederson has won everything there is to win at club level. 5 Premier League titles, a Champions League crown, multiple domestic cups, and personal accolades, including the Premier League Golden Glove. However, speculation over his future began earlier this year after interest from the Saudi Pro League intensified. Sources close to the club confirmed in June that Ederson had expressed openness to a new challenge. And now, with negotiations reportedly at an advanced stage with Al Nassr, Manchester City have accelerated their plans to bring in a world-class successor. Why Donnarumma? Gianluigi Donnarumma, 26, is no stranger to the spotlight. A prodigious talent since breaking into the AC Milan first team at just 16, Donnarumma has been hailed as the natural heir to Gianluigi Buffon. He moved to PSG in 2021 after leading Italy to glory at Euro 2020, where he was named Player of the Tournament. Standing at 6 feet 5 inches, Donnarumma is an imposing presence between the sticks, combining cat-like reflexes with aerial dominance and an ever-improving command of the ball at his feet. While PSG have rotated between Donnarumma and Keylor Navas in past seasons, the Italian has grown frustrated with the lack of consistency in his role, especially under Luis Enrique, who preferred a more ball-playing approach that highlighted Donnarumma's occasional technical flaws. With PSG now undergoing a rebuild under a new manager and several key departures looming, Donnarumma is ready to take on a fresh challenge in a league that he has long admired. Manchester City's goalkeeping coach Xabier Mancisidor has reportedly given his full backing to the move, believing Donnarumma's physical attributes, leadership qualities, and high ceiling can be polished to match City's tactical demands. Financials and contract details sources close to the negotiations suggest that Manchester City and PSG have agreed on a deal worth around €65 million, £55 million, with add-ons that could take the total to €75 million. Donnarumma is expected to sign a 5-year contract with an option for a 6th year, keeping him at the Etihad potentially until 2031. His salary will place him among the top earners at the club, though still within City's tightly managed wage structure. City have acted decisively, aware of growing interest in Donnarumma from Bayern Munich and Juventus. Sporting director Txiki Begiristain has led talks personally and secured an agreement with Donnarumma's representatives, who are reportedly delighted by the prospect of the player joining Guardiola's team. What Donnarumma brings to Manchester City: one shot-stopping prowess. One of Donnarumma's greatest strengths is his shot-stopping ability. With quick reflexes for a man of his size and a strong command of his box, Donnarumma has often single-handedly kept teams in matches. His performances at Euro 2020, particularly in penalty shootouts, highlighted his mental fortitude and ability to rise to the occasion under pressure. 2. Physical dominance. At 6 feet 5 inches, Donnarumma is one of the tallest goalkeepers in world football. His reach and command of aerial balls make him a daunting presence for attackers, especially in set-piece situations, an area where Ederson, while competent, occasionally struggled against physically dominant sides. 3. Youth and experience combined. Despite being only 26, Donnarumma already has nearly a decade of top-flight experience, having made over 350 senior appearances across Milan and PSG, along with over 60 international caps for Italy. His blend of youth and experience makes him a perfect candidate to grow further under Guardiola's coaching. Room for growth. Unlike Ederson, who joined City with well-established distribution skills, Donnarumma is still developing his passing game. Guardiola's staff believe they can mold him into a more complete modern goalkeeper, one who is not only an elite shot stopper, but also a capable playmaker from the back. How Guardiola plans to integrate him. Pep Guardiola has built his dynasty at Manchester City by implementing a possession-based, high-pressing system where every player could be a turning point in one of the summer's most intriguing transfer sagas. Newcastle United right-back Tino Livermento has spoken out for the first time regarding reported interest from Premier League champions Manchester City. The 21-year-old former Chelsea and Southampton fullback has had a breakthrough year at St. James Park, impressing with his maturity, technical ability, and explosive pace down the flank. With Pep Guardiola's Manchester City reportedly preparing a summer bid, Livermento's recent comments have only intensified speculation about his future. Now, with Euro 2025 behind him and transfer season in full swing, the talented defender has dropped the clearest hint yet about his next move, offering insight into his mindset, ambitions, and long-term career trajectory. From Stamford Bridge to St. James Park, Livermento's rapid rise, born and raised in Croydon, Tino Livermento emerged through Chelsea's acclaimed youth academy, widely regarded as one of the best prospects of his generation. After being named Chelsea's Academy Player of the Year in 2020-21, Livermento made the bold decision to leave the club in search of first-team football, a choice that would define his path. In August 2021, he joined Southampton for a modest £5 million and immediately established himself as one of the brightest young fullbacks in the Premier League. A devastating ACL injury in April 2022 temporarily derailed his momentum, but his raw talent remained undeniable. Despite interest from top clubs in 2023, Livermento signed for Newcastle United in a deal worth up to £40 million, including add-ons. The move was seen as a calculated gamble by Eddie Howe, betting on Livermento's ability to bounce back to his pre-injury best. One season later, it looks like that gamble is paying off. A breakout year at Newcastle. Although Newcastle's season was plagued by injuries and inconsistency, Livermento was a shining light. Splitting time between left-back and his natural right-back role, he not only provided defensive stability, but also offered flair and dynamism in attack. In 36 appearances across all competitions, Livermento registered 5 assists and 1 goal, an impressive return for a defender just returning from long-term injury. More importantly, he displayed elite-level decision-making, dribbling, and positional awareness beyond his years. His ability to adapt to different systems and contribute on both ends of the pitch has not gone unnoticed. Manchester City, who are seeking reinforcements on the flanks due to injury concerns with Kyle Walker and long-term succession planning, have now added Livermento to their shortlist. Guardiola has reportedly been an admirer of the young Englishman for years, dating back to his Chelsea Academy days. Manchester City's interest. A strategic move. City's interest in Livermento is not without context. At 21, he fits the club's profile of recruiting young, tactically intelligent players who can be molded to fit Guardiola's demanding style of play. Kyle Walker, 34, is nearing the twilight of his career. João Cancelo is set to leave the club permanently following loan spells at Bayern Munich and Barcelona. Rico Lewis, while talented, is still developing and primarily seen as a midfield option in Guardiola's inverted fullback setup. Livermento could be the ideal long-term replacement for Walker, combining blistering pace with defensive acumen and an ability to invert into midfield, something Guardiola demands from his fullbacks. City are reportedly willing to offer up to £50 million to secure his signature this summer, with contract terms expected to more than double his current wages at Newcastle. However, persuading the player and Newcastle to agree to a deal may prove more complex than anticipated. Livermento speaks